am still in Botha and I work for IRM as a technical consultant. At the moment it's pretty much everything in the sphere of pen testing. We do application tests, infrastructure testing, code review, firewall review, and build reviews as well. Back when I was living in South Africa, I used to repair mobile phones as a job, and I bought a mobile phone from a particularly dodgy gentleman who basically there was something soldered onto the phone, and it took me a little bit of investigating to figure out what it was and what it was doing, and basically it sort of, I guess it changed my life. From that point on I just got really into hacking and phones and computers. It's good to have a knowledge of how systems work. It's not imperative, but yes, it would give you a really good background into the industry. It would also give you a bit of a niche. If you understand how these systems work, that's the primary goal for hacking them. It would be pretty much once I got here, I sort of continued hacking on my own. Bought servers off eBay as broken spares, assembled them, put them together, basically pretty much as my train set. I just tried different software, tried different things, and just basically attempt to make them do something different. Yes, I think back when I was doing it originally, it was sort of a case of just sort of trying something different, or not really following any sort of approach, just sort of doing the right thing, the wrong thing. As long as it ended up being different, that was kind of how you ended up figuring things out. Now it's sort of, it's very deeply rooted in a methodology. There's an exact way that you do things. There's a very specific way of testing web applications. There's a very specific way of testing infrastructure, and it's generally more methodology related now than I think it was back when I was just sort of hacking and trying anything. Impulse hacking, I guess. Teamwork is generally, just depends on what sort of job we're doing. If it's a web application, we may segregate it as we'll test user roles, functionality. It just depends, but mostly it's all goes back to methodology. You'll tend to find that whether you're working with a team or whether you're working on your own, you'll always stick to some kind of methodology, and that'll make it much easier to segregate the work and figure out who's doing who and what goals we're going to get to. The testing, definitely the testing. Web application testing tends to be quite a big feature at the moment, and infrastructure testing just depends whether you're on site or whether you're actually testing off site. Generally, the hacking is my favorite part of it. I'd say my least favorite part is taking what you found and putting it into words, writing the reports. Those can sometimes be the difficult things. So if you can convey something that you've done technically in a non-technical way so that anyone reading that report would understand what you've done and how severe that problem is, that's probably the hardest part. I would say get researching, look into as much sort of, if you're interested in a particular sphere of it, if you want to just do hardware hacking, you're probably going to find that it's, you're entering yourself into a very narrow field. Have a good zest for it. If you enjoy hacking web applications, testing software, it's definitely the thing for you. Personally, I did it on my own for many years. I ended up getting, or going to university. I have a degree in ethical hacking, and I think before it was much easier to sort of sit at home and do it in your spare time, but when it became full-time study, that was when it really sort of everything started to make sense. Hopefully I'm trying to look into to becoming ultimately more focused in web technology, but unfortunately the industry changes so quickly and everything changes overnight. There could be new vulnerabilities tomorrow. Someone could come out with a new technology that becomes extremely pervasive, that ends up everywhere and ultimately becomes a focus for security, which then could lead into people finding bugs and holes with it. It's a very big industry in terms of you never know what's going to happen next. The thing I suppose about the job that's really enjoyable is you're never stuck doing the same task. There's virtually no repetition. Sure, jobs like web testing, that type of thing, all good. But from one test to the next, you're always testing something different. You're always going somewhere else. It could be infrastructure one day, web application the next, code review, firewall review. The job's constantly sort of changing. It mixes up. It's nice.